dialing in today, and I want to say a really grateful, heartful thank you to Bea to be on the show today. In the last episodes, we were really talking about neighborhood, about mompreneurs, about new work. So we have tackled the angle about family management by different topics, and we all learned the underlying pattern is that we can design our future. So today we want to dig in a little bit about hormone cycles to menopause, to explore how work structures were historically and have been designed around male biology. And today Bea will bring us the way of thinking forward. And maybe Bea, let's start with the first question. So modern work was largely designed around a very specific biological model, essentially the male one. So you are here today and you showed us something on your belly. So maybe it's who you are and where you're coming from and bring us to this question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosa, and thank you so much for for inviting me and giving me the chance to explain a little bit more about what I'm doing and what my mission is. And
sorry,
what is happening? Is everything fine?
the tech is fine. Yes, I'm just sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so my name is Beatrice Aretz. I am the founder of a female health company called Caona Health. I was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2019, so 7 years ago. And it was kind of a relief and at the same time a really scary experience because I had been suffering from a lot of different weird symptoms and a lot of period pain, which is the thing that I have on my belly because I am right now in pain as well. And so when I was diagnosed back then, I had a couple of surgeries and I found out that it's you cannot heal this disease. It's a disease which is kind of like tumors or cells that actually go on places where they're supposed to be. And it causes a lot of pain and other problems, but you cannot heal it and there's not a lot of research around it. And what the problem around this was that there is actually research, but it is not known. And also, so once the society doesn't know anything about it and the doctors don't either. So because we have this gender health gap and gender data gap, I don't know if you've heard about it. So there is not a lot of research data on women. And there's also the focus of research and of health has been around the standard, which is the male data and the male body. So endometriosis was something that fell out of this because it's a disease that only women can get. So I got diagnosed and I dove in the research because I realized no one else really could give me answers around it. And then I found out that there's so much that is already known about the hormones and the female body that I was like, okay, I want to do something with that. And I want to educate the people. I want to also bring forward innovation around that because myself, I am a medical engineer, especially around software engineering. So I like to code. And I like to work with data and find out what information is in there. So I actually started to dive into the kind of data around hormones and how AI can be used to diagnose hormonal imbalances and actually treat them as well. So this is how Caona started my company. And then also I started my PhD around it because there's still this gender data gap and we have to do something against it.
So it's so fascinating that you're tackling it from your personal matters. And I can raise my hand. I also have I also run through the variety of surgeries and the unknown. So for me, it was getting diagnosed one day without even knowing that this disease existed and getting a surgery 5 days after. So I know exactly about what you're talking about. So when we dig a little bit deeper in terms of the work environment for women, so do you think it's just a trend, or do we finally see companies starting to recognize that women are different, and the cycles really really affect how women perform and how the work should be structured around them.
Let's take the example of endometriosis. Worldwide, there are around 180 million women that probably have endometriosis, because there's a lot of people that are not diagnosed yet. So it's a lot of it is in the dark. It's 1 out of 10 women. And those women usually have a lot of menstrual pain, have maybe several other issues. For example, for me, it went, so this disease actually went around my bladder, went around my organs, everything around the stomach. So I had a couple of more surgeries, and all of this, the pain, the surgeries, the other problems, they lead to women dropping out of work because they're sick, because they have to get treated, or they also burn out because they're still working even though the pain is so high. What does that mean? It's a lot of cost to the workplace, to our economy. And this is the untapped potential that we haven't even started to realize. And it's just endometriosis. So 1 out of 10 women could actually be better in the workplace if they were doing better. For example, I live in Spain, and here they have the menstrual sick leave, where you can actually take days off without them be taken from your vacation days because you're on your period and you're in pain. And this is, let's say that, so this is just the little tiny thing around endometriosis. 91% of women are suffering from either PMS, premenstrual syndrome, menstrual pain, or also menopausal symptoms. So, and menopause is something that is actually every woman will go through menopause, and you still want those women in the workplace. And this comes with a lot of symptoms as well. So the potential is really untapped. And there has been some studies around it in the past years. McKinsey actually said that there is a $1 trillion opportunity of improving the economy by $1 trillion just by improving female health. I mean, I think it's kind of a no-brainer what we should do.
And this fits so well to what we are doing with Family Mind, because we also see women, mothers in our case, having the same thing. So it's not only we are talking women without children, we are talking about mothers who also have endometriosis, who have PMS, who have everything on top of the family management layer. So also for our audience and our target audience for Family Mind, it's super, super crucial to say, yes, it's true, it exists, and you are not alone. And on the same hand, that there are solutions out there like Caona Health and like Family Mind to really help these families, and in the meanwhile also help corporations to modernize and really see the potential behind. So for female health, it's 1 trillion. For family improvement and family health, it's even 14 trillion. So the market is so huge, and it should be a no-brainer to really invest in women and invest in parents and invest in mothers. I want to go a little bit on a different route with you, Bea, because you have mentioned one more thing. And we do know that you are a founder. You have shared with us that you are founder of Caona Health, but you're also a researcher. So you are having you're doing your PhD on female health. So do you think female founders are pushing these conversations faster towards traditional institutions? And I mean with traditional institutions, not only universities, but also insurance companies and corporations. Do you think we as women are leading the way?
Yes, definitely. We are leading the way because we are the people suffering from it, and we are the people seeing it. So it's something that it's clear and it's understandable that most of the men don't see that pain because they're not going through it, and we actually hide it to be still seen as productive, as the good mother, as the good daughter, because it's also caretaking when our parents get older. It actually starts in school when you're in menstrual pain and no one would understand. Your teachers wouldn't, the boys in the class wouldn't. So no matter where we are, we kind of hide it. And I think going from there, we have to really get into more of a big perspective on. I'm sorry, I just got a lot of pain. Can you repeat the question?
Of course. Do you think we female founders are pushing these conversations forward faster than traditional companies?
That was it. So yes, on one hand, I think we're the people doing it because we're suffering the most. But then there's a huge backlash. This is where I wanted to get. Sorry about that. It just. Uh, there's a huge backlash because women found companies differently. And also, women have this incredible thing of imposter syndrome and thinking everything through before they actually do something. We're a lot more careful with what we say, with what we do, which is often actually a problem, especially in business and in politics, and also in getting people kind of on your side in terms of convincing them of getting money. So in all of those things, we're on the kind of disadvantaged side, which is a big problem because yes, we want to be the driver and we are the drivers. Most of the femtech companies are. So most of the femtech companies, female health technology companies, are founded by women. Unfortunately, only 1% of the capital from VCs and from investors actually is invested in female founded teams, which means that there's just not that much money going through female founded teams, which means also a lot of femtech is not founded. That's the big problem. So the most successful femtech companies are actually male dominated and male led companies. So there is a discrepancy, which is a big problem because yes, we're driving it, but as the drivers, we're really disadvantaged in a lot of different things.
I feel you. And you have been talking a lot about us female founders. A different layer and level that I would also like to bring into the discussion is when I think about traditional institutions and who are running research departments or who are running HR departments, or even if I look at distribution about man and female or and part-time and full-time, we also see this gap of women driving these topics in institutions as well. So what is reflected in the startup ecosystem, we driving these topics where we suffer forward, is also reflected in institutions. It's the same pattern. So I really love the call out that it needs more funding, it needs more visibility, but it needs for especially us women speaking up and showing us as our true selves and not having imposter syndrome or this mindset of I don't want to be a burden for my family, my husband, my kids, my workplace. So really showing who we are because that makes us so powerful. So thank you for leading the way, even with your red. I don't even know what Wärmflasche means in English, but we know
Water
your
bottle,
water bottle. So thank
yeah.
you for leading the way and being very transparent where we are currently at. And I would like us to close off with a final question to you, Bea. And I'm asking the questions every time in every single episode. So if you could think about workplaces, so workplaces were designed without, so if you would think about workplaces designed with women's health in mind from the start, what would such a workplace look like?
So for me, it actually would look like something where we are not even asking a question or thinking about it anymore, but it is already equal, meaning that we go to work and we are not in pain. So it's not the workplace itself, I think, that has to put things in it is not, so the workplace doesn't have to do anything anymore. That would be the ideal workplace for me. When DEI, so diversity and inclusion, is already done, so everyone is fair to another, the equal pay, we have, if someone is in pain, it's completely understandable that you take your days off. If someone is doing caretaker work, it's completely understandable that someone else actually jumps in, that doesn't have kids, that doesn't have sick parents, that is just like ready to go and go a little further. So for me, the ideal workplace is actually one where we don't even have to put measures into place or initiatives into place anymore, because it's already a done thing.
I love that it should be a done thing, and that's why it takes you and your company and us as well to make it a done thing. So thank you, Bea, for joining our Shared by Design episode around women's health, hormonal cycles, and workplaces of the future. Thank you for being with us. I would like to give us a little bit of an outlook. So, the next Shared by Design episode will be about a topic that has been raising in the current weeks. It will look a little bit onto how women's safety goes together with the partner choice. So, if you are thinking about your partner, what are the check boxes that you should take to really make sure that your future is in the right path? So, you can design it the way you want it. So thank you for being with us today and looking forward to have you on the next show. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.